So good morning, friends. I'm out in this storm trying to let the chickens out in between the massive drops of rain. So good morning to you. I'll do a formal intro in just a second, but I'm working against the weather. This is my new feed. It's a game bird layer, okay? It's not the high out of the world 28% protein, but it is a 20. So if you're wanting to kind of jumpstart your birds right here into, like I said, the end of January into February, the best way to do that is to up their protein. So you can see I have black oiled sunflower seeds. I just did one scoop in the bucket. The rest right here is a 20%. Your normal layer feed is 16%. So you can get an 18%, you can get a 20%, 22, 28. This has a really good balance of protein and calcium. This particular bag of Tucker Milling game bird feed, it's what they really recommend. And so I've gone with this. My girls are laying. We're getting plenty of eggs right now, but we're not at our maximum. But if you really want to get them jump started before molt or right before spring hits, upping the protein a little bit is okay. Just check the balance with the calcium. And natural things such as black oiled sunflower seeds are always a win. Mr. Peaches, say, well, okay. Say good morning. Say good morning. Good morning. Mr. Peaches, you scratched my nose. He panicked, y'all, because I picked him up. I guess he thought I was going to put him outside. That's no longer an outdoor cat. Shocker. Look here, y'all. So this is supposed to go up here. And I had it loosened up just so it releases a little bit of the water. And the water must have come out so harsh that it just pushed it off. And we haven't had that happen before. This storm has been something else, y'all. So what we have going on here, guys, is I'm out in the main run, as you can see right here. And I don't know if you know this, but Tennessee, East Tennessee for that matter, East Tennessee, we ain't flat, okay? You might think you're in a spot that's flat and you're gonna find out you're not. So you can see the ground of our regular coop in terms of its run goes slightly downhill. Well, with all the pounding of the rain, it's like we've created our own little river, and you can see we've got all kinds of beautiful things. There's probably an arrowhead in here, to be honest with you, since we can find artifacts on our property. But this is what we've got going on. Clearly, we would have to bring in the tractor and drag it. I don't know when we'll do that. Probably not until the spring. And the thing is I'm going to have to cut the fence. Because when we did this, we didn't take for account that that could possibly happen. So I'm showing you this so that if your run starts to go downhill like ours does, which there's nothing wrong with that, okay? The fact of the matter is, over time or several bad storms like we've seen this year, this is what starts to happen. The irony of it is we're going to dump this pool, which that's going to continue to make that bigger, so it needs to be moved, obviously. And we like to keep smaller trays out here. We have to keep things like this if we can in the winter as much as possible because we have geese and ducks. I love to keep just buckets, but the weather has been up and down, so it's convenient to have a pool, obviously. But here's the thing. You can come out here and you can dump this, fill it up with fresh water. Half of them will go right over here and drink straight from the mud. It's just life, people. All right, so good morning, guys. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. You're seeing the real side, the real deal. There's some messes over here, folks. Got to get cleaned up. But I want to talk to you about a few things, and especially for you folks out there that are considering getting chickens, even if it's just a couple of chickens, 6, 4, 12, whatever. If you're going to have a rooster, then I definitely want to guarantee you that you need at least a dozen hens. Most roosters are going to tread the fire out of your girls, so you want to have plenty of girls for rotation on that. But like I said, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. We are in between. Give me a hug. Oh my gosh. Appalachia, we're getting pounded. You guys up north are getting like 45,000 inches of snow. This is crazy town. It's crazy town. Of course it is. Of course it is. Interesting. So here we are. We are bouncing in between chores due to weather because it's kind of clearing up a little bit, and then we get another big shower of rain and huge wind. So if it gets windy, I apologize. But I want to talk to you about this real quick because I cannot tell you enough how important it is for you to have a little, even if it's old and got cobwebs on it, honey, the chickens don't care, they love it. But basically what you're looking at is the back of my big coop, which it was a workshop at one time, and we converted it to a chicken coop when we moved here because of the amount of birds that we have. And then we also built the other little coop over here. Actually, it was already standing. The frame of that little building was standing. We finished framing it in, closing it in, and put a run on it. That's our silky chalet. It has since kind of grown into a multi-bird chalet. You can see from the footage. I've got silkies in there and little bainies in there, but there were some birds that I got 2 or 3 years ago. It's been a while. And they were little baby chicks, and they acclimated in there, and they did so well. I just left them in there, and I'm not having any problems so far. The only rooster or bird that I have any trouble with is up at the barn, and you can see he likes to flog me. So the crock pot is on standby. I'll just leave it at that, you know. Beta, he thinks he's so bad. I know it, right? So anyway, so here's what I want to tell you. Over on my silky chalet, you've seen that from the outside, I don't have a covering. So what that means is when the birds come out, like right here, they automatically are in the elements. No matter what your coop situation is. Now, some people have runs, that look like something off of HGTV and Country Living and everything else. They've got like 7 birds, exotic, and they're beautiful, and they've put all this money into their coop, and I think that's wonderful. I have no problem with that. But if you're going to have more than 12 birds, and especially if you live in an area like I do, that we can just be mushy, moppy, wet a lot, well, it doesn't always look like Country Living or Instagram now, does it? You know the deal. Okay, you're with me. Boom. Okay. So you're going to have cobwebs, you're going to have mud, you're going to have broken eggs, you're going to have lots and lots of poop. I mean, it's just cleaning all the time. So you're going to find that you're going to be cleaning your area if you want it to be as best as possible every season. I mean, you're going to do daily or weekly things, but you're definitely going to have big cleanups several times a year. We're not there yet. Probably end of March into April before it starts getting really warm. You want to clean things up, clean things off, yada, 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 especially if you think you might be developing a mite problem. This is when they start coming out. This time of year is when stomach bugs in children, ask me how I know, and when the mites start to come up. It's like we start to get a little bit of breaks in the weather, so things start appearing. So just note what I just said, okay? So you may be spring cleaning your coop by default earlier than expected, but usually the big clean out happens, early to mid-spring before it starts getting really, really hot, and you want to freshen everything up. It's so nice, but it's a lot of work since closing out of winter. But right here by default, I had this area, it was just closed off. This was like a garden shed area off the back of this little, what is now our coop. So this was done for us, okay? This was already here. We added the fencing and everything else. And I will tell you, this is the most important spot of my coop. So what I'm telling you is no matter what type of little chicken coop that you have, you want your chickens to go out. Now, they may not come out a lot in bad weather. They may choose to stay put up. It just depends on your situation, your types of birds. I get it, okay? But you want to give them the option. So here's 2 things I want to recommend to you, and I hope this helps you out. First things first, if you can have any type of awning situation over where they come out. You can do it with a metal roof. I mean, you can do all sorts of things. You can use scraps. It isn't going to look fantastic. Look here. These birds come over here no matter how much we clean or put freshness out within a week. This is what it looks like, folks. This is what chickens do. Okay, this is what reality looks like with chickens. It's not, again, it's not Instagram. I like Instagram pictures. They're beautiful. Oh, but when you get out in it, you go, this is not what they told me it was going to be. And this is certainly not what it looks like when I look at my phone. Look at mine, right? Boom, again. So here's two things you need to remember. If you can produce or build or make any type of little awning situation for your birds, do it, okay? And let me tell you why. A lot of times these birds will come out and they will go out to eat, scratch, run around, do their thing. Some birds get very wet and then they will chill. You can find that even your adult 2, 3, 4-year-old adult male or female chickens, meaning a rooster or a hen, your big birds, if they get too wet, if they get too chilled, even if they go back into a warm, fresh bedded coop, they can freeze to death, okay? So I don't know if there's videos on this. I don't know if people discuss it. Now, by default, some of this is going to happen, okay? We have to be in reality here. Birds get wet. Birds get muddy. It happens, especially in our area. We're in Southeast Tennessee, and when it decides to rain, it can rain a very long time. So you have to watch that. So yes, fresh bedding in the coop is important, but covering on the awning, making a little awning area when they come out is going to help you with this situation. This is the most popular spot of my coop. I mean, they definitely go in, they definitely roost, whatever, but you can see I've also got old nesting boxes here. We're building our new ones today and tomorrow, so that's coming. But I gave them the option. They use these nesting boxes in this area just as much as they use them inside. They love to get up here and perch. If they don't want to be in the big coop, they come out here and they hang out. So if you saw the footage in the beginning of the video, you see that my two cats, Mr. Peaches and Mr. Me, who are my indoor barn cats, okay? So I have an area downstairs where I keep extra feed. We come in and out of the house. It's sort of like a unfinished basement / mudroom area. So we keep feed in there. We keep, tools in there. And guess what? Mr. Me, Mr. Peaches, and Mia, who are some of my stray cats that I've taken in over the years. You didn't see Mia, of course. She was over there hunching around the corner. But she's so funny. But they keep the mice away. But here's my point. You saw them on straw. This is about to be bedded fully down with straw. Now, this is outside. This isn't inside the coop. Because if you see, if I don't fall down, please, Lord, don't let me, slip and slide. You can see what I'm talking about in terms of this awning. This has got to be trimmed down in spring. There's so much work that we have to do. I'll have some videos coming up about that. 2025, in terms of our homestead, I'm trying to not fall on camera. Believe me, we do it. But a lot of things are changing here on the farm. We're updating things, upgrading some things, projects that we've meant to do or finish over the last 2+ years. We just hadn't had the chance. We were too busy working, preparing, doing things with our kids and spending time with you. And so I want to finish some projects. But the straw is going down here. They love to hang out in this, what I just call the awning area. And yes, we do have a light here because there's no outdoor electricity. There's just the plug-in. So when we come to put the chickens up, we turn that light on and we check around everywhere to make sure everybody is up. So we do have a little light out here. But there is electricity, obviously, inside the coop. It has the option also of air condition. I didn't put that. That was here when I got here, okay? Yes, there is an air condition in there. We don't use it. I mean, we've used it like 3 times since we've lived here. So anyway, but this is where my straw is going. I mentioned the straw because I wanted you to know they love to hang out in these awning areas. They absolutely love it. So I'm going to be bedding it down with fresh straw here. And I'm shaking a little bit. Fresh straw. So if you can produce a covering as another option for them, because they don't want to go out in the rain, they don't want to go out in the snow. See what I'm talking about? You can simply feed them here, put some water here. It's covered and protected here. If some of the girls want to hang out and lay an egg, they have that option too. So some awning areas will be smaller and simple. That's fine. That's great. I'm just telling you I think you will be pleasantly surprised at how much they will use it if you just have it done, especially if you can cover it kind of on at least the top and on one side, maybe where you get a lot of wind, because they don't like that, especially if they get wet. Remember what I told you about chilling? It's not a good thing. It's a very hard comeback on that for these birds, especially smaller birds like a silky or a baney. Some of your Easter eggers even, they're smaller birds. If they get soaked and it's cold, you better grab that bird and you better warm it up quick, because it may not make it. Ask me how we know. I mean, it's my raw life experience. Now, over on the Silky Chalet, here's the thing. I don't have an awning there. That's changing. That's one of the projects I'm mentioning. We have good intentions for putting an awning there. In fact, we have all the material. We bought the poles, we have the metal, we have the whole thing to do it, because especially silkies, they need that covering, okay? So I'm gonna let my birds out. I'm gonna feed them a little bit up here. The sun is trying to peek out now, thank goodness. I hope you all are safe. That storm that came through overnight, it didn't hit here till way after about 3:15, and I'm telling you what, that was crazy. All right, let's get to work, and let me know if you have questions. Let's let these birds out, y'all. All right, guys, we're gonna close this video out. Just remember that when you are putting out your bedding, meaning in an awning area or perhaps where the chickens come out, their little doors, if you are putting out fresh bedding in that area, you may want to consider waiting until the storm is past. Let me give you an example. So you see I haven't put down another bale of straw just yet. I was waiting for this storm to hit and to pass, and hopefully it's gone now. We won't get any more rain, but here's the thing. Everything is wet. I didn't want the straw to get wet because we're going to drop down below freezing starting tonight. We're going to be 15 degrees in 2 days. So it's best to have your bedding as fluffy and dry as possible. It's a little extra work on your part, and you're especially going to have to keep up with the timing, but it is what is best for the birds. Inside here, we have fresh, dry pine shavings. So they have the option to come in and to be in a warmer, drier environment. But I like to have it when they come out. That's why the awning is so important. It will help keep that fresh. It will help keep that dry a little bit longer, okay? That's the whole point. So you kind of have to work with that. If I know snow is coming, I will put down fresh bedding in the covered areas. But the other areas, I'm gonna wait until the storm is gone, and then I might put dry bedding out there. You just don't want to waste it. It's too expensive, right? And your time is precious too. Hope this video helps you out. I hope you are having a wonderful and beautiful Sunday. Please be praying for our folks in Appalachia. I'm seeing and hearing Kentucky and West Virginia especially are just absolutely devastated by this storm. Please stay safe out there. Please don't challenge a flooded area, flooded waters, whether they are still or moving, guys. Please avoid that, okay? I love you. Keep me posted. Keep us posted. All right, I'm going to head back to the house. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, and share. Pray, prep, and be peaceful. More videos coming your way. I cannot wait for spring. A lot of important things need to be accomplished here on the farm, and we're going to take you along for the ride. We'll see you then. I love you.